This is the Red Alert Show with me, Josh Everton, Andy Simcox, Alan Smith, and Craig Wood. The usual four are back. We've got no subs in this week. And it's been an unusual quiet week for us as well. No drama like we've had over the last few weeks. So this one should be a nice, short, and quick one until we get Andy and Al involved. So let's get into it. So, Al, we'll come to you, seeing as you came up with this topic for us to discuss. Obviously, the under-18s with a fantastic 5-0 win against Spurs in the under-18s Premier League Cup, what it called, or Premier Cup?
Yeah.
A nice 5-0 win, and the new first team starlet, Fabio Jalo, with 4 of those, to which one, I think his first for a volley and then a perfect hat-trick.
He got perfect hat-trick and then he got his 4th, didn't he? What can you say about that? And according to form, we're looking, according to Doug O'Kane, to sort out his contract. Is it, let's have a look what he says. He's had a few questions, Doug, about Jalo's contract. He understood that it expires next summer, but he's looked into it and it doesn't expire until 2025. And the club at the moment are negotiating a new extension past 2025. I hope they get that sorted. I hope he doesn't go, because I think the Barnsley fans need to see him more time on the pitch in league games. And yeah, what a player, you know. I mean, he created the winning goal at Reading, didn't he? So there's a lot more to come from him. And we haven't seen we haven't seen the best in league form for him, but let's see if he's starting or is it on bench on Saturday.
Yeah, it would be nice to see. Craig, I think it sort of threw up somewhat of a conundrum in a way, because obviously with a side that realistically should be aiming for promotion this season, and the strike force which we've got at the minute, and the rotation of Cosgrove, Devante, Waters, McAtee, and then now we can throw Jalo in. To me, Jalo brings something different to the others mentioned, just in sort of his flair and almost his rawness and naivety to it, that he can go and do things that necessarily someone who's a seasoned pro might not want to try, because it's not like the safe option necessarily. And I think he brings that different dynamic of when he gets the ball, something exciting might happen in a way.
I feared for Jalo at the beginning of the season, because obviously we had also had Dallas and Shaw. So I thought he wouldn't get a look in, which I wanted to see more on him this season, because last season I said it looked a bit weak. Obviously with his age, it were going to be, you know, it looks a lot stronger this year. It looks just as fast as he was last year, and it brings something completely different than any other player can. It's not just that, but a young player his age has got an imagination for movement, an imagination for passes. Some of that gets beaten out of more experienced players. So I think that rawness and that nobody can tell what he's going to do, you know, because he's so young, he's so fast, he's got such a high ceiling that at any moment he could just kick into form and it could change the season. You know, is at that age where, I mean, there's no negatives for him at all, because he just comes on and plays football, but he's still at that age where it's not a job. He still enjoys it, if you get me. So, look, with the injuries we've just had, you know, we've got McAtee got injured, we got Waters that got took out last game. This is a chance for him, whether it's coming off in bench for the last 30 minutes. We know we like to change both forwards every single game. So I'd be more than happy seeing him play more. All I would say is I hope the fans, every time he comes on, give him a big roar. Every time he touches the ball, give him a big roar. Get that confidence sky high, and you'll see the best out of him.
Yeah, I think it is key into it with Andy to not sort of overexpose young players in a way, because we've seen previously when we had Big Vic, who scored something like 25 in the under-23s, and then he came into the first team, and under season with Valley looked decent, he looked solid, but then he never seemed to kick on in the way in which we expected him to. And then when we had Jasper Moon obviously in the season where we got relegated, again chucking a young player in sort of so raw into that environment, into that situation, it's almost a balancing act of allowing them to play first team men's football alongside nurturing and developing them, not overexposing them to it in a way as well, isn't it?
Jalo's got something that those other two haven't got. He's got absolute raw and incredible talent. He can control the ball. It's not bouncing off him. As Craig's saying, he's got stronger. I mean, the last few times he's come on, he's got hammered, but he's got up and continued on. He's not let it faze him. For the goal that he set up for Max Waters against Reading, he rode a tackle. You know, the player came across and tried to take him out, but he rode that and continued on. He's what we've been missing. Whether he starts or not because of it, I don't know. But he's what we've been missing since Luke Thomas left in the summer, because Luke Thomas was a sort of player different to the others that we've got in midfield or up front, that just goes straight at players. I've said before, defenders hate players who go at them at speed because they don't know, you know, what do they do? Do they try and contain? How do they deal with it? He's that raw, he's quick, he's raw, and he goes for it. And what more do you want? Sometimes it won't come off. And as Craig says, we don't need 10,000 people groaning. We need, he's having a go. You know, do it again. He's having a go. Not that anybody's groaning, because he's an exceptional talent that we've done really, really well to sign him. I'm really pleased that, you know, we get a lot of stick at our club about who we sign and who we don't sign. And he's an absolute talent. And keep fit and keep developing is going to go a long. He's already going a long, long way. You know, Portugal under 18s, what have you. It's going to go a long, long way if he keeps his feet on the ground. Hopefully with us. So I'm really looking forward to him on Saturday. Whether it's as a substitute or starting, I suspect as a substitute to come on as an impact when defenders or other players start to get a little bit more, a bit more tired. And particularly in the absence of Max and John McAtee, because we don't need another striker being taken out by GBH. We could do without that. So hopefully, they've got no place on a football pitch. They should be in courts for them tackles. It's just straight assault. No attempt to play it ball twice in the same position, just doing them. Not good enough. No, that's not football.
I'm not being too critical because I've done a few of them in my time.
Well, I wouldn't like to say that I have, because I used to play in defence. So I'm not saying I did, because obviously I was flipping perfect when I was playing.
Yeah, you're like a Paolo Maldini. If you give them one away, you bed the mistake.
Tell them, Al, weren't I, Al? I were brilliant. Weren't I wonderful at backer? Tell them, Al. No, don't say I'll tell. Don't say
It was days when you could tackle like Norman Hunter could.
Yeah. I couldn't really foul anybody at waist hikes. I couldn't get that high. So, but yeah,
Your knees all do.
Yeah. Got to do that, haven't you? Got to do that. So good luck to the lad, and more and more for us. Whatever, another year and a half to go.
Chopper Simcox. That was his nickname. Chopper Simcox.
Brilliant. Al, you obviously watching the under 18s and 21s. Could you see from an early sign with Jalo that he sort of sat head and shoulders sort of above the others in the major groups? Obviously, he's playing, what is he, 17 now? And he's playing
18, just 18.
Just turned 18, sorry. And he's playing under 21s, which is a fairly big jump. Obviously, he's playing the first team week in, week out. So it is, could you see from early that it'd be sort of a special player for us?
You could always see with some talent from early on, couldn't you? His enthusiasm, is willing to learn off coaches and listen to what they were telling him on sidelines. So, and also now he's growing into his body more, his upper body weight is growing into his upper body, and there's still more to grow into. And he's got everything: pace, power, skill. When you get a player like that, he's going to go places. He definitely go places. But before he goes places, let's keep him at Oakwell for another 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, I think it's almost like it's his best place necessarily for him, Craig, at the minute. Because obviously, I think from the rumours I've seen and read, it seems like there's some big clubs who are taking note of him. But I don't think there's no better place to be playing week in, week out in men's game than just going into a different size under 21s and into their development squads necessarily. I think the best place for him is here. And speaking to that, would you give him a start on Saturday, or would you still just like see him coming from the bench and making the impact in that way?
I'll answer your first question. I think we've got one of the best academies in the country. I think we bring through some amazing talent. We give them a platform to express themselves, and a lot of them go on to play at a really high level. I think a lot of coaches and a lot of managers out there recognise that Barnsley is a place. If you had a son or you had a talented football player, then Barnsley is where they go, because they're going to get opportunities here, because we play a predominantly young team, which I know as fans complain about a lot of times, but as a player, it's something you want to hear going to a new club. So I think, 3-4 seasons here, 21, 22 is probably going to be looking to make a move. But yeah, I'd love to keep him here. I think he's a special talent. And as for starting him, I think it's a bit too early. I do like the idea of fetching him in later on in games when, I don't know, defenses are getting a little bit complacent. The concentration's not entirely there because they've been already concentrating for over an hour. They're feeling tired, especially if it's a ground like ours with weather like we have up here. You don't want to be continue playing after you've played an hour. You can't be bothered, can you? So, but look, next 5-6 games comes on, gets 30 minutes, scores a couple of goals or a few assists, then throw him in. He'll have proved his salt then, and he's already got one in his last game. So but I would just give him I'd steadily put him into a starting position, because, like we said with Jasper Moon, the confidence destroyed that lad. He was a good player. And that season absolutely obliterated any confidence in himself. He had to move for himself. Same with Victor Adebayo. I do think Jalo's got a bit more ability than Adebayo ever had. So, but yeah, I'm sure Bobby Hassel and Martin Devaney and all the backroom staff know exactly what to do. They're a good set of coaches we've got at this club.
And going back to youngsters coming in, as you say, it's a good academy. Grant McCann's lad, he's there, Bailey, and also Rob Cosluck's lad's there. So they all come and want to come and send their lads to our academy.
I think it's shown recently, hasn't it, really, when you look at the Horsham game when Vermal came in into side, and it looked like he should be there. And it was like almost a like-for-like replacement in terms of moving a first-team player. You brought on just a younger first-team player in a way. It's been nice to see with the young academy players. Obviously, we've got Aidan Marsh making impacts at the start of the season as well. It seems like we've got a bit of a bright future and a good crop of young players coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. You're all absolutely right. Aidan certainly made an impact in FA Cup. So sorry, Aidan. It's only a joke.
Can we not talk
Aidan.
about that? I'm still emotionally scarred about that.
You're saying about his 2 assists, innit, Andy? That's what you're about, them 2 assists.
That's absolutely. He played. Oh, he played well. Not his fault. Well played. So I'm only joking, Aidan. Well, it's well played to him. But yeah, players. Players that young Jorgen Nathan. What a player he's going to be. He's quality. He's going to be quality. So yeah, it's the signs are there, aren't they? They just need some experience alongside them to bring them on and teach them the how to look after themselves and how to deal with things on the pitch, and onwards and upwards with them. So good luck to a lot of them.
Dad watched a show. I saw him yesterday. He say hi to Theo's dad. He loves the show.
And now, of course, we've got Bobby Hassel, who's been in charge of the academy, is now in charge of the acting director of football, isn't he? So let's see what happens in January.
I don't know. I just don't get role permanently. I mean, to be fair,
well,
knows his club through and through.
Well, I didn't think this. I didn't think we'd go here, but let's have this conversation about it. Craig, how important is it that it's someone that knows a club through and through? Because obviously, every time there's sort of a change within the club, manager-wise or backroom-wise, it's always this thing of they need to know the club, they need to know the club inside out. Because to me personally, that's it's the balance of you've got someone that understands the club and the community and every aspect of it against someone who might be more qualified or more appropriate for that role, and balancing them two things up, which I think in the meantime, whilst we're looking for a permanent one, he's a good person to have in that in the role. But would you be inclined to give it to him on a full-time basis, given sort of his success as well with a youth academy?
Obviously, I gave him on a temporary basis to begin with to see how it goes, give him this window. But we work on the transfer strategy we use is based on numbers anyway. So even if you fetch a phenomenal director of football that knows all best talents in the world, they still have to adhere to that same stat sheet, But at least he knows what the fans expect, what the fans will accept. Because I still think there's a huge disconnect between what the owners think we want and what we know we want. I know that they want to be sustainable and win profitability, buy players, sell players, all this stuff. We just want a team that's going to run 100% and give us 100% every game. And I don't think we subscribe to what they're doing, because they're saying all the right things, but the movements are doing the complete opposite. It's like
you think this is a step in right direction, though?
Yeah, it would be. It'd be a massive step in right direction. Having Bobby Hassel at the top, running all sides of football. I mean, this guy's been at this club for so long now. I mean, is the next Norman Remington in my eyes? He's going to be that long. He's going to have every role in the club. I mean, he's been player, he's been coach, he's been at youth development, he's been a goalkeeper. This guy for me could be at this club for the next 30, 40 years. So why not? And if anything needs saying to fans, they'll take it. The fans will give him a lot more leeway than they give the likes of Khalid or anybody else who comes in, because they know that he's fought for this shirt, and he fought for this shirt for a long time. And he's going to fight for this shirt a long time more.
All I would say is
your life, Craig. I'll say that.
What?
One thing about Bobby is like us. He's got Barnsley through and through, running through him, and his heart's for Barnsley Football Club. And there's nobody else who I don't think within the club who's got that passion, that drive, that enthusiasm for the club to succeed.
I think there's Martin Devaney as well, and I'd say to both of them, be very, very worried, because if you stop at Barnsley forever, you'll start looking like me and Ali eventually, and that's not good. You could become the new Alan Andy, the pair of them. Not a good thing.
No, I will say though, I don't understand. I do think the owners want us to succeed. I will say that, and I do think they want the best for the club. But I'm just saying that communication from them to fans, I think Bobby could help out immensely with that, because he knows us. He's lived amongst us for God knows how long. Not sounding like we're an alien species or anything like that. He's lived amongst us, But he can turn around and say, "Look, if you were dying that way, that is not going to go down well. Or if you make this movement right now, you're going to get backlash. Or this is when you should change something. Or this is how you should word it. So I just think he could help out a lot.
Yeah, I think there is more scope in terms of having him in a different role within the club, to be more sort of involved in the football operations, and he seems like the right person to put in there on a temporary basis for me personally. Whilst we either look for a permanent solution and or give it to him on a full-time basis, which it'll be good to see. Charlton on Saturday. I know there's a few things going off around the club on that day. So Andy, there is the Ozone spot place outside.
You're struggling now, aren't you?
Yeah, because
you weren't listening to me, were you?
No,
words just went like that then.
I said Ozone,
like a word salad.
Climate change.
Just a word salad, Craig. That's all it was. Right, I'll tell you this. On Saturday, the Barnsley Rucksack Project, and all the information, I'll bring it back on. All the information's come from Adi Flute of the project. They're saying that they support homeless charities in Barnsley. They're asking for fans to bring any donations and drop them off at the Ozone, which is next to the main reception in the south stand before kick-off. what we will do, I'll bung in the sort of items that they need, like duvets and what have you, and other stuff that they need, including food like tins of this and tins of that. I'll put them in the comment section of this, when this show's uploaded. They're also holding, which is could be interesting. A Barnsley inspired online auction, which is on eBay until Monday, the 18th of December. So it's till Monday. And that's in support of 3 homeless charities in Barnsley. And just search for the seller on eBay of Barnsley rucksack. Again, there's some lovely items. I've seen the items for sale. They're on the Barnsley website, and I'll put some of them in the comment section again, because that'll be there's some love. We all have different things, don't we, that we like and don't. My personal bit is one of the prizes is you can have a poem written to a subject of your choosing by Ian Macmillan, which I think could be wonderful. I'd love that. So there's a number of things. Ed Clancy's shirt, the cyclist and whatever. So there's a number of things that are there. It's on the Barnsley website. If people look at the Barnsley website, and I'll also put the highlights or some of the highlights in the comment section when this show's uploaded.
There could be a good one there for you, Andy. There was a Reds fan called Andy who used to like reading. There you go. I'll go on, Randy. I'm stopping there because it could prolong. Plus, also there's 2-minute silences that people are asking for. One on 19 minutes for Taylor Gregory, who passed away on 1st of December. And then I've got one here by a Barnsley fan. Can you get together and do a minute's applause for my mate's youngster who we lost at the age of 1 on 1 minute, and his family sit in the East Stand. So condolences to both families.
Yeah, I think as a club, we're always good for things like this. So Reds fans, make sure you get behind and support all of them things. If you've got anything spare, read the comments that Andy leaves down below and have a look at what needs to be brought to support the homeless charities there, and also the Mates Applauses. Let's make sure we support them as well.
Can I just say this, Josh? There was an old man called Alan who'd always been a bit of a wrong 'un, and I'm not going to say any more of it. I'll leave other people can fill that poem in.
Well, the ending of that'll be in the comments. Along with the
family
comments.
show, though, keep it clean. In the comments, keep it clean. It's a family show.
Try and finish the poem yourself down in the comments below, and we'll see who comes out the best one.
Beautiful gal. There you go. I'm got it wrong there.
You can't write a poem about yourself, you old Wally. Other people got to do it. Oh, dear me. Dear me.
Maybe we can sell that ourselves. We can sell Al writing poems to people.
Oh, aye.
That's what we can do. Right. So then, looking forward to Charlton. I think it's been ages since we've been back at Oakwell. I know for me in particular, I think I've not been in about 2 months because we keep playing on Tuesday nights. So it'd be nice to be back on Saturday.
You so look, have it nice, Josh.
Yeah, I'll make the trek for once, I suppose. It feels like a special occasion at the minute. So looking at Charlton, Michael Appleton in charge there. Alfie May scoring 15 in the league so far this season. Sat 10th. Form seems somewhat all right. 3 draws, 2 wins in the last 5. Key player being pulled out, surprisingly, Alfie May, who is averaging a goal every 108 minutes and is spearheading the 4-3-3 formation in which they play. So, Al, looking at Charlton, I know in the summer with a few of the players in which they signed, it looked like they made a real statement of intent, but then started poorly, especially by their standards of players which they brought in, and it seems like they're going to have a big go this season, but it's just not clicking for them. It's not gelling for them at the minute, it seems.
They've gone a bit flat, haven't they? They were Saturday, they were 2-0 up against Cambridge. Alfie May scoring again, and a lot of our fans expected under Duff us to go and get him from Cheltenham, didn't they? And that wasn't forthcoming. So it's time for Charlton. And as you say, his leading scorer. But Cambridge came back and got 2 on 87th and 90 plus 6 to take 2 points off them. So, they've got Corey Blackett-Taylor up front. They play 4-3-3, and as what is it, George Dobson midfield, who seems to be running to play on everything. So Let's see where it takes us. We've got to get back to winning ways at Oakwell because we haven't made it a Fortress this season. So it's about time with 2 league games on bounce at Oakwell, aren't we? This Saturday and next Saturday, Stevenage, against one at top 6, which we've not done well against. So we can put everything to bed and hopefully get 6 points in 2 home games.
Yeah, I think coming off the back of that as well, Craig, coming off 2 league wins in a row as well with a fantastic result at Wickham that obviously won by goal of the month, which is great to see as well. Sam Cosgrove with a 25-yard screamer, top left-hand corner, keeper no chance kind of finish. And obviously going on the back of the win against Reading as first come from behind winning over 600 days. It feels like there's a potential for us to go on a run. At this time, are you feeling positive for Saturday?
It's difficult to say really because they're similar to us. You know, they're very inconsistent. They've got a good goal scorer. We've got a good goal scorer. The defense is a bit shaky. Our defense is a bit shaky. So I think it's a dead eat. It's a dead rubber. It's a pick 'em. You know, it's gonna be a difficult. It's gonna be a difficult game, but I've noticed a few trends. They tend to not perform well when you don't give them the ball. Whenever they've had the most possession, there's a couple of outliers out there, but generally when they've had most possession, they tend to dominate chances and dominate the game and eventually win. But yeah, you've got to keep the man Alpha May quiet. You know, if you keep him quiet, say, I think the winger's on 6 goals, Blackett, and I think after that, I think it's Leeburn, who's a substitute striker who comes in every now and again, young kid, but he's quite a big unit who comes on. He's got 3. So if you keep May quiet, I think you keep them quiet. You know, you've also got to watch out for Dobson. He's their Luke O'Connell. He's their engine in the midfield. You know, he drops deep and picks up the ball and picks balls forward. I think if you stop him, you stop a lot of balls getting into the final third. They do tend to like to play that way, where they like to get a ball in and get the ball into Alpha May's feet in and around the area. But for this game, they have their style of play is quite clear. We're going to score 1 more than you. You know, they've had 3 clean sheets all season. You know, so there's going to be goals. You know, but yeah,
0-0 then.
It's just a pick 'em. It's just who wants it on the day. I think they're going to turn up because everybody turns up against Barnsley for some reason. And we should turn up because I think we've had a couple of positive results. I think the game against Reading, where we managed to come back, and not only that, but stretch the lead when we were under the cosh. I think that speaks a lot to where the team's manoeuvring. But we do need to get a couple of defenders in January, though.
Yeah, I think I've just done a quick look at their results, and it looks like they're also struggling into top 6, and they're not picking up. I think they picked up 1 point against Portsmouth, and I think there might be another draw in there as well. So it seems like the comparisons between us and Charlton are almost identical in a way of they're struggling against the better sides in the league, but then beating those below them. We've got a striker that's on fire, and they're sat in a position very, very similar to us.
They have the 10th, aren't they? They're about 7 points behind us. What I did notice is that they haven't lost in the last 5 matches. They've drawn 3 of them, so you know they know how to draw. They haven't lost in the league since late October, so it's a fair time to go without losing. I will say, like I've said, that they're drawing a lot, so it's nailed on for a 0-0 draw then, or a 10-10 draw, or something like that.
It's definitely not going to be 0-0.
Oh, famous last word. Famous last words.
I'll stick my nails to the mast on that one.
I'm going to pencil a 0-0 then for my prediction.
Craig, your predictions aren't that good, Craig, so I won't stick your nose out on hope.
What has cost me at last game, and I got full points. Thank you very much.
I know. I would have said 20 on us. Don't. No, I don't. You know, He could have, he's missed other chances. He could have missed that, couldn't he? Just to help us out, Craig.
And that's
But,
it. That's what I thought.
That's what they're like, isn't
I
it?
thought
That's
if there's
what-
going to be one player, it's going to be one player that I reckon won't score.
I had that a few years ago with Mamadou Thiam. If we went full length at field and I'm shouting, and it was literally 10 seconds to go, and I'm shouting like he used to do, fall over Thiam, fall over. No, full length at pitch, and slotted it in to thwart me, So I weren't happy. But I have to say, I'm currently top of the mini competition. I'm currently at the top, so
We'll see
I'm there
that
to be
next
shot
week.
at.
No,
right,
come on, get past this. No one's
No.
interested in knowing who's in top
Well,
out of us
I don't
four.
want to be saying what my prediction is, and then everybody copying because they think, he's a soothsayer. He knows what he's saying. He is the predictor because I'm top. He is the predictor. So
I'll go
don't
first,
follow
I'm
what
not
I've
bothered.
said. You what, Craig?
I'll go first, I'm not bothered.
A Barnsley fan who's got all 3 shirts, white, black, and home
Red
shirt.
Al. Red Al.
It-
Red.
The main colour. It's everywhere.
I can't say it. It's Star.
I know. It could be.
It's
We could
Starman.
change short to black and white all over, couldn't we? And I've done. They've got Tedic, remember. Slobodan Tedic. He's scored 1 goal this season. I'm not going to start rubbishing him because he scored what goal. Because you'll see what happens. He'll flipping score, won't he?
He won't top bench it out. He won't the starting lineup at weekend,
Well,
won't he? And Harry Eisted, he won't
Harry.
top bench either. He's not getting a start, is he, Harry?
I think
No,
I said injured.
Is he?
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's
Well,
injured.
they've got that Maynard Brewer, haven't they, in goals? I liked Harry Eisted, and I wish we got him. If I'm honest, I wish we got him.
Yeah, that's what I blame Duff for. If we'd have left it a few more days, we could have got Harry in first, and then he could have buggered off.
I'm throwing one in before press conference tomorrow. Is Liam Roberts fit?
He could
Yeah,
do
we
what,
hope so.
Craig? He could beggar off, Craig. Other swear words are available.
It's no swearing. Not in my era. Might be yours. Not mine.
Me and Alan's got tender ears. We can't be doing with all this, can we, Al?
I've just got some more text to open my ears up because I'm going deaf. Pardon?
I am surprised that they've only had 3 clean sheets, to be honest, because they've got that Michael Hector, who's a very experienced defender who knows where ankles are and knees are and everything
Likes
else.
to take them out, yeah.
That, yeah. I was trying to get around to. I was
Likes
trying
to
to get away
remove them.
with that. So
My
I
kind
worry
of
that-
defender.
I worry that
Again.
it might be third time lucky for our strikers.
Can anybody
Same
remember
thing.
when he actually signed for Chelsea?
So
Never
Good
made an
player.
appearance.
I know you've got
Tactics are not to slide in into 6-yard box and try and score. If you're going to score, get it outside box. We don't want no more injuries inside 6-yard box.
And I liked, in his previous clubs, I like Scott Fraser, that we were linked to a couple of times, I think, because and I know it's not. I know some of you have got a slightly different view, but I like the way that he were able to get the ball, look up, and play a ball behind the defence or slip it between full-back and centre-back for somebody wide to run onto. So a clever player. Whether or not he's currently doing it, I truthfully don't know. But he has been a very clever player in his time. And of course, Alfie's going to score, isn't he? Flipping heck. Alfie scores from everywhere, halfway line, you name it, he scores from it. So I think you've said it, stop him. And frankly, I think we'll stop them.
Easier said than
Pick a
done.
defence. Pick a proper defence.
Easier said than done. Right, before we get into our predictions, we will get young Isaac and George on first with theirs, so we can copy their predictions for once, maybe. Let's see. Let's get them to on.
We play Charlton at the weekend at home. It's the return of instant reaction and fan cam. Hope to see you there. Anyways, what do you think the score's going to be? I think it'll be 1-1. I think it'll be 2-1 to Barnsley. If you think you're better than predicting than us, get it in the comments down below. You Reds!
So, soothsayer and truth sayers amongst us, Craig and Andy, seeing as you are both the truth sayers, and seeing as you are top of the prediction league, Andy, almost like golf, we'll let whoever's top go first then, so we can all piggyback off the back of you.
I very nearly treated me sent to a Smithy's fried chicken after, but I've got you say what has spoiled it. So anyway, Well, young George, people need to follow young George. You know, George is doing particularly well as he's 10. He's doing really, really well. There's only one prediction, isn't there, for this game? It's not going to be 0-0 because Craig staked his life on it, and so it must be right. So there's only one score. They're going to score. Alfie may score, but they're not as good as us. 2-1 to Barnsley, and I'm being conservative there. Only in not in a political sense, just a normal sense. 2-1 to Barnsley.
Interesting. 2-1 to kick us off. Al, what you reckoning?
Well, it's like Jordan Rose when he come at Blackpool, didn't he? And now for May is going to be the same. He's definitely going to put one in back at net. But I'm going confident. I'm going 3-1 to Reds.
Oh, 2 wins. Interesting. Craig, where do you sit on it? 0-0?
He'll go for a draw. You watch. He'll go for a draw.
I'm firmly on that pick and fence. Me, I'm 2-2. I think there's going to be goals, but I think there's going to be a late equaliser from one of the teams.
Yeah, they have got form for drawing, haven't they, though?
Yeah, and late goals as well in both teams. Late goals are constant in every result. So, yeah, I think 2-2. I think one of the teams is going to be flooding the opposition area in the final minutes of the game and get a goal. So,
Hey, Desmond. A nice way to round it off. I'm going to go... Ooh. I thought 2-2, but I thought that's not enough goals. I'm going to go 3-2 to us.
It might be, mate. Might be.
I'm going to go 3-2.
There's going to be goals.
I think there is. I can't wait till this is 0-0 now.
Fabio.
Then you're all going to blame me.
Oh, exactly. I can't wait to tell everyone all.
You watch, Josh. There'll be eight minutes at a time. It'll be 0-0 after 90 minutes, and at 98 minutes, it'll still be 0-0.
And we'll have those to talk about.
I don't think either defence is good enough to keep a 0-0 for 98 minutes.
Well, we'll see. And we're about to discuss it in the instant reaction live outside Oakwell. They are back. We've got all the gear and somewhat of an idea on how to use it and how to work with it. So they will be back from Saturday. So fan cams will be back. Instant reactions will be back outside Oakwell, which will mean there'll be no Sunday morning show. So it should be up nice and quickly after full time for the Charlton instant reaction. So come round, we'll be round the back of the Ponty end near the club shop. If you want to come and say hello or come and get the fan cams, come and find it full time.
Club shop. Is that the Fanatics club shop?
I have no idea.
Swearing on. We told you about swearing on here. Don't like that.
We'll not be having it. Anything else of note, gentlemen?
No, I think you've said everything.
Well, I'll try and round it off before one of you.
Nobody will be watching this bit. They'll have switched off by now.
Don't worry. I know we've all turned it off. I can watch the runtime.
They'll have all gone and done the Christmas shopping now. That's it. They'll have done. They'll only watch us for a bit.
That's early, that as well. If they've done it by 13th of December, I'll be doing mine probably 24th at 5 o'clock before everything shuts.
I would done it for December, hit me.
No, I wish I could be like you. I've on it. To be fair, Mum and Dad, if you're watching, I've bought your stuff. So at least you two have got some at Christmas. Right. We'll see you later, and we'll catch you on Saturday. You Reds.
You Reds.
You Reds.